Hey everybody, Lady Gear to you here, and welcome back to Let's Play The Legend of Zelda, The Wind Waker HD. In the previous video, we completed some minigames and side quests all the way over there on Windfall Island. I can see the Windfall Island already. Very small, of course. I'm such a dork. But anyway, in today's video, we're going to be going into here. I think this place is called Paw Print Island because it looks like a paw print and stuff like that. There's a lot of stuff like that in this game where, like, islands look like real world things. Or, like, just basic shapes in general, and the islands are going to be named after that. We're not going to be able to tell what the names of these islands are for a little while. We just knew the Windfall Island was called because of, like, the little swirly thingy. I think, where is the next location? Over there. That's the next location we're going to be going into. But there's a heart piece over here that I like to go get real quick, and this will bring us to 4 heart pieces. So, after I just cut all the grass right here, we're going to be going inside the next place. So, fast forward! Duh! I did it! I cut all the grass. Are you proud of me? Are you proud of me? Random choo-choo block thingy-majigger, are you proud of me? You won't even talk to me. I'm gonna go hide over here. Ah. Anyway, yeah, we're gonna be going inside this place right here because there is a hot piece hidden somewhere on this island. I don't know why I'm singing, I just do that randomly. And no, I'm not going to be cutting all the grass in here, even though I'm like super tempted to. Look at all that grass. It must be... Ooh, we got a new item. This is red shoe jelly. There is a shop in Windfall Island where we'll be able to do something with this. But we're not going to be doing anything with it right now, simply because I just don't feel like it. We'll be taking care of that next time we go in through Windfall Island. Just simply because that's the way I'm just going to be doing this Let's Play. There are a few things here that we will be able to do later in the game. After we gain access to bombs later in the game, there'll be a... Look at that choo-choo! He's in the corner! He's in the corner of the screen! Oh, that was awesome. But anyway, yeah, once we get bombs, we'll be able to do some more things on this island, but I figured I might as well come here anyway, because the heart piece that we got here gives us a new heart container. There are a few exceptions to this rule of thumb, but the basic rule of thumb for most Legend of Zelda games is that every 4 heart pieces will get you a new heart container. There are exceptions like in Twilight Princess where there are so many heart... How did the grass grow that quickly? Wow. There are some exceptions like Twilight Princess where 5 heart pieces were required to get the heart container rather than 4. And there are also stuff like in the DS Zelda games, like Spirit Tracks and Phantom Hourglass. I think it also was like I know it was in the DS games, but I'm not quite sure about Minutes Cap. But I know that like in Spirit Tracks, they completely went away with that rule of thumb and just made it so that every heart container you got was a heart container. There were no heart pieces. Every single one of them would get you a heart container. But that's also because there weren't actually that many heart containers in those games. But anyway, before we continue on with the main story, there's like a little wooden tower post thing over here that I like to climb. Climb for glory! Climb this mighty mountain that's made out of wood and it's not a mountain. Let's fight these things real quick. Let's destroy their faces. Let's defeat them, let's defeat them. Jeez, I remember during Skyward Sword, how difficult it was to talk smoothly while doing the motion controls for that game. I have no idea how I was able to continuously do that for like 64 videos. And speaking of which, I was really happy with the way Skyward Sword turned out because it was 64 videos long, and that just makes me happy because it's like Nintendo 64. That's probably not going to be the case with this Let's Play, but one can dream. Objectively, I could like stretch it out, just split everything into like multiple videos, but I don't want to do that because I don't want to be a jerk. Oh my god, we landed the boat and the backflip! I'm so happy right now. This game makes me happy. Anyway, It's like I don't even care what happens the rest of the video. Just that alone right there. That was just awesome that he backflipped into the boat. Like, I was secretly hoping something like that would happen, but I did not think that was going to happen on the first try. There's some seagulls right there. Their flying patterns are just kind of funny. There's some barrels right there we can go through. We don't have to do that. I don't really care to go through those barrels right now. We'll probably do it later in the display, but I don't really feel like doing it right now. Let's go towards the island. It's super spooky. High atop this island's peak lives a spirit of the skies, a great dragon by the name of Valu. You must go see this dragon and request from him a jewel called Din's Pearl. Ask the people of the Rito tribe who inhabit this island about how to see the dragon. Oh, almost forgot. Wait just a moment. This is the Wind Waker. It is a baton of sorts that was used long ago when the people played music in prayer to the gods. In those days, simply using it allowed one to borrow the power of the gods, but I do not know if it still works. Even so, I thought it might be of some use to you. Perhaps you should try using it. First, conduct in 3/4 time. Do not touch the thumbstick, just try to match the rhythm by tilting the right thumbstick up, down, left, or right. Well, he didn't say left, but I just felt like saying left. Very nice, that was splendid. Next is 4/4 time. Hold the left thumbstick to change the rhythm, then match the rhythm and tilt right on the thumbstick. Hold left on the thumbstick, I assume. I did that completely wrong. What was I thinking? That's it, Lady Garrett. That was not bad for your first time using the Wind Waker. Not bad at all. You can also conduct with it in 6/4 time by tilting the left thumbstick right. You would do well to remember that. And we get the Wind Waker! The most anticlimactic way to get the title item, like, ever. Like, in Skyward Sword, like, we got the item, like, we got, like, the sword from chasing Fi across Skyloft and Majora's Mask. The name of the game was the main antagonist in the game. Wind Waker just feels kind of anticlimactic, like, oh, guess what? We have a Wind Waker item that we can give you before you go head off on your merry journey, or something like that. But anyway, Wind Waker. In the GameCube version, I believe it was an item you could set to one of the buttons. I might be wrong about that, but I do know that in the Wii U version, you can move up on the D-pad to take it out. Then you can like move around on the right thumbstick to like control it. Moving it left will make it go into 4/3 time, or 4/4 time, and moving it right will make it go in like 6/4 times or something like that. I don't really know that much about conducting real life music, but what I do know is that I love making Link's arms move around all crazy and stuff because it looks like he's dancing. Also, what I love doing is that you can actually use the gamepad's touchscreen to control this as well. So if you hear a sound effect of me taking my stylus out, that's before taking out the Wind Waker, then you know that I'm taking the stylus out to actually play the game. We can go over here if you want, because there's actually something we can do with the Wind Waker over here. Let's climb up the staircase. I'm still so sad that there's no individual animations for each footstep. Yep, that's a mighty nice breeze. The name's Zephos. I'm the god of winds. So you're the new Wind Waker, are you? Great, great. For beginners, you got a nice wind sense about you. I like you, kid. That tune you just picked up, well, it gives you control over the direction the wind blows. Depending on how it's used, the wind can be a good thing or a very bad thing. You want an example of it being a bad thing? Then you should see my brother. It saddens me to say that my brother, Cyclos, is miffed about his monument here being broken, and now he spends his time creating cyclones to torment people with. So if you encounter any cyclones at sea, chastise my brother, will you? And that is my request for you. This character is actually pretty interesting because in the beta of the Wind Waker, when it was still being developed, before the King of Red Lions became the partner for the game, the original partner was going to be like a frog riding around next to Link on a cloud, similar to how Navi and Tato flew next to Link during Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. This character would have flown next to Link the entire game and would like give you information about the different enemies in the game. So it's pretty interesting that they ended up using that character anyway, even if his initial role ended up being like much less important than it was originally intended to be. And one thing I'd like to say for the record is that the King of Red Lions himself. One thing I have to say about this game is that I don't really care that much for the sailing early in the game, not even in the Wii U version, because, well, first of all, we can't get the fast sail until a little bit later. What does it say? Wait, what? Arrow pointing upward. There are like actual words on here. I wanna read the things. What do these mean? Ah. Anyway, if you look up, there's some bubbles up there. We can't do anything about that quite yet, but didn't I blow up that boulder already? But as I was saying, I don't really particularly care that much for the sailing this early in the game, because first of all, it's super slow, because we don't have the fast sail, and second of all, it's very restricted. Like right now, we can't even get onto the boat to sail away from this place. Like we are stuck here until we complete the dungeon in this place. I don't really like that at all, because Zelda is supposed to be about exploration, and you're forced to just stay here for a while. Like, you can't leave this place until you beat the first dungeon, and it's just really saddening, because we're going to be getting an empty bottle here, and we can buy potions at the other place if we were to get an empty bottle, which would be so useful here, but again, we cannot actually leave this place until we beat the first dungeon, which is a little irritating. It's something like, I don't mean to be, like, too critical or anything like that, but I do have to say that one reason why, I do know that even though I'm not entirely sure how I would rank the Zelda games after Majora's Mask, Link's Awakening, and Skyward Sword, I do know that I like Wind Waker so much more than Ocarina of Time. Not Ocarina of Time, Twilight Princess. The reason for that is because Twilight Princess, the entire game just felt very limiting at times. Like you were very restricted on where you could go at the very beginning of the game. Like over the course of the first couple dungeons. At least in this game, after you beat, I think it's the next dungeon. That's when the world really opens up to you. But in Twilight Princess, it just seems very restricting at times, and it just kind of irritated me. But, like, after the third dungeon in that game, that's when the game really started to pick up, so after that point, I love Twilight Princess, but I do have to complain about it whenever I, like, bring it up, because it's my personal least favorite of the 3D Zelda games. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying that at all. Twilight Princess is a very good game. I'm just saying that out of the 3D Zelda games, it's my personal least favorite, because, like, Majora's Mask and Skyward Sword, they have amazing storylines, and there's just a lot of stuff you can do in those games. Wind Waker and Ocarina of Time, same thing. They have amazing stories and just really fun gameplay. And the overworld is just really exciting in those four games, but Twilight Princess, it just feels very slow at times. Lady Garrity, is that you? It is, I'm pleased to see you're okay. I must say, you've traveled far for one with no wings, and his sister, is she... Is that so? Well, don't worry too much, I'm sure still hanging in there. I have an idea, Lady Garrity. Would you like to meet our chief? I've told my people here about you, and all of us Rito are very concerned. I'm certain the chieftain will befriend you and lend you aid on our Erie. Whatever that word is, I pushed the button too fast. It's settled then. I'll fly on ahead and let everyone know you're coming. Come on inside. I'll be waiting. Fly away, postman. Be free. In case you can tell already, this place has amazing music. I'll be quiet later in the video, like you can still hear it in the background. But I'll make sure to dedicate some screen time specifically to the music in this place. Just a little bit later, but the theme that plays on Dragon Roost Island, it's one of my favorite Zelda songs ever. What, have you discovered the cause of the Great Valu's anger? Ah, so you are Lady Gear to you, are you? Quill has told me all about you. A troubling tale indeed. I insist that you let us know if there is anything we can do to help you. We shall do everything in our power to assist you. However, in the meantime, we have a problem of our own to deal with. When you arrived on the island, did you notice the raging dragon perched atop the mountain? As you can see, we of the Rito tribe are profoundly connected to the sky. We make our livings in the airways. We do so by the graces of the sky spirit Valu. When a Rito reaches adulthood, he or she journeys to the top of Dragon Roost to receive a scale from the Great Dragon. It is this scale that enables the Rito to grow his or her wings. Recently, however, the once gentle Valu has grown violent and unpredictable. Sadly, we can no longer approach him. If this continues, the fledglings who are of age will never be able to receive scales from Valu on Dragon Roost. They will remain wingless, and in time, our very way of life will be threatened. Like, it's so adorable. This game, just look at his eyes, it's so adorable. As Chieftain of the Rito, my first responsibility is to solve this problem. Apologies, but I must ask you to wait for our assistance until this is done. Will you do so? Chieftain, what will you do? What do you think of consulting Lady Gear with regards to her son, Prince Kamali? As you can see, Lady Gear is a gallant young lad. I feel certain that Prince Kamali would open his heart to him and speak freely of his fears and worries. That may be. Let me be direct. My son, Kamali, is the one of age to earn his wings. Yet, he is weak, in some ways, and in light of the current situation, he might just give up on ever getting them. What say you? Will you share some of the courage with my son? Will you meet my son? I thank you. We shall do our best to solve our problem as quickly as possible, so that we may better help you with yours. I have something I wish to give to you, my son. A young girl named Medley is holding it for me. Would you find her and take it? I am counting on you. Here, Lady Gear, you take this with you. Who knows, it might come in handy. And we get the delivery bag. Oh yeah. You should find Medley in one of the upper rooms. Leave the great value to us. In the meantime, do your best to aid Prince Kamali. Alright, there's one more thing that I'm going to be doing in this video before we end it off, and that is we're going to talk to Medley real quick. So, let's not fall to our doom. Let's go over here and go across this way. This guy looks like he's holding an iPad. I know it's not an iPad, it's like one of those, like, paperclip, not paperclip, it's one of those wooden, the name of it's escaping me right now, but it's like one of those, seats things that people carry around, but from a distance it looked like he was holding an iPad. Just come on, it's very negative in 2016. Don't tell me it did not look like an iPad right there. Anyway, this is Medley, one of my favorite characters in the Wind Waker. We've already met Tetra and, well, obviously Link, who are two of my favorites, but Medley is one of my favorite characters in this entire game. Wow, you really do have green clothes and a strange shaped hat. You're Lady Gear to you, aren't you? Oh, me, I'm an attendant to the great spirit Valu. My name is Medley. Well, to tell the truth, I'm not an attendant quite yet. I'm actually still studying to be one. Oh, what am I thinking? Here, this is from the chieftain. Lady Gear to you. He wants you to give this directly to Prince Kamali. And we get the letter. The room way in the back on the first floor is Kamali's room. You have to go down a couple of steps to get there. When you meet Prince Kamali, please don't get offended by his manner. He has no bad intentions, I promise. By the way, listen. I have a small favor I'd like to ask of you. Could you please come to the entrance of Dragon Roost Cavern later? I'll explain everything then. After we've spoken to Prince Kamali, please come to the entrance of Dragon Roost Cavern. It's really important. I'll explain everything then, I promise. One thing I'd like to point out right quick is that I'm not entirely sure how accurate this is, because I'm not entirely all that familiar with Ocarina of Time itself. Like, I love that game, but just like this one, my memory on that game is a little bit fuzzy. But the design on the red part of Medli's dress, I believe that's that kind of connects the Rito to the Zoro in some way. I think it's like a symbol for the Rito. Because there's something interesting about the Rito. They evolved from the Zoras. In the previous games in the timeline, like Ocarina of Time and stuff like that, there were water people called Zoras. But in the Wind Waker timeline, they evolved into bird people. Now you might be wondering, well, it's a world full of water, why evolve the fish people of all things? Well, I actually have a theory about this. But I don't want to talk about it quite yet, because it spoils something later in the game. But, what's up there? I wonder if I can get up there. Yeah, I'll do it later. But anyway, yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching this video of The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker HD. And in the next episode, we'll be going inside Prince Kamali's room and do everything we need to do to go inside the Dragon Roost Cavern. And until next time, Gear to you. Oh yeah.